Who is she? Why can't I stop saying her name? Rest now, sir. Some answers take time to return safely. Just take your things and go, Imani.
It didn't have to end like this.
Why are you asking about those old company files, Robert?
Some files should never stay buried this long, ma'am.
6 months ago, Daniel Kang stood in a hospital hallway in New York City, and he could not remember his own name. Machines beeped around him. Doctors spoke in careful voices, but one word kept leaving his lips, over and over like a heartbeat. Imani. He did not know who she was. He did not know why saying her name made his chest tighten. He only knew one thing. Somewhere in this city, a woman was waiting for an apology he could not remember he owed her. 1 year earlier, Imani Jackson stood in the center of Kang Global's headquarters, in front of 300 employees, while Daniel Kang looked at her like a stranger. "You lied to me," he said. His voice was cold, no warmer than steel. "You sold my company's secrets. Get out of my building. Get out of my life." Imani did not cry in front of them. She held her back straight, picked up the box of her things, and walked out the front doors of the company she helped build from nothing. Every camera in that lobby captured her walking out in silence. Millions of people watched that video later. Not one person in that building knew the truth. Daniel Kang had been lied to by someone he trusted more than anyone else in the world. Before we go further, subscribe so you don't miss what happens when a powerful man loses everything except the one memory his heart refuses to release. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from tonight. Now in the present, Daniel Kang sat in a hospital bed, surrounded by lawyers, board members, and a woman named Serena Kang, his cousin, who called herself his fiancée. She smiled at him with soft eyes. "You had an accident, Daniel. A car crash on the highway. You forgot almost everything. Your company. Your deals. Even our engagement." Daniel nodded slowly. He believed her. He had no reason not to. But every night in his dreams, he saw a woman's face he could not name. Brown eyes. A quiet smile. A silver watch on his own wrist that he never remembered buying, engraved with 3 small words he could not stop reading. Always IJ. Doctors told Serena that memory can return through familiar places, familiar voices, familiar people. Serena's smile did not move, but her hand tightened around the folder in her lap. She could not let that happen. Not when the merger vote was 3 weeks away. Not when Daniel's memory could destroy everything she had built in his absence. So she moved quickly. She removed old photographs from his penthouse. She replaced his personal assistant with someone loyal only to her. She told the household staff that any mention of Imani Jackson's name was strictly forbidden. Daniel was surrounded by careful smiles and rehearsed answers, and he had no way of knowing that every wall around him had been built on purpose. Across the city, in a small apartment above a bookstore, Imani Jackson watched the news report about the accident on her phone. Her hands shook. She had spent a year rebuilding her name after Daniel humiliated her in front of the world. She had a new consulting firm now. New clients. A new life that finally felt like hers. She told herself she owed him nothing. She told herself this 3 times out loud to an empty room. But she could not stop replaying the video of him being carried into the hospital, whispering a name the reporter could not make out. 3 days later, Imani walked into that hospital, not for Daniel, she told herself, but to return an old photograph one of his former assistants had mailed to her by mistake. She turned a corner and stopped. Daniel Kang stood in the hallway in a hospital robe, staring at her like he had seen a ghost. "It's you," he whispered. Security moved to stop her. Serena rushed forward, pulling his arm. "Daniel, you don't know her. Come back to your room." But Daniel did not move. He looked at Imani's hands, then at the silver watch on his own wrist, and something in his chest cracked open. "I don't remember your name," he said quietly, "but I remember I hurt you. I can feel it. Why does it feel like I hurt you the most?" Imani's eyes filled with tears she refused to let fall. "You don't get to feel guilty now, Daniel. You made your choice a year ago in front of everyone." She turned and walked away, leaving him standing in the hallway, holding a memory he could not name and a guilt he could not explain. If you believe love can survive even when memory fails, hit subscribe right now, because the truth behind Daniel's accident is about to change everything you think you know. Drop a comment and tell me if you think he deserves forgiveness. That night, an old man knocked on Imani's apartment door. Robert Chen, Daniel's chief of staff for 20 years, stood in the hallway, holding a small brown envelope. "I should have brought you this a year ago," he said. "I was afraid. I am not afraid anymore." Inside the envelope were bank records and a printed email, both dated 1 week before Daniel fired her. The email proved Imani never leaked the merger documents. The real leak came from Serena's own private account. Robert's voice shook. "Ms. Kang paid a former employee to fake evidence against you. She has wanted Daniel's company since the two of them were children." Imani's hands trembled as she read the pages. For a year, she had carried a shame that was never hers to carry. The betrayal had never been Daniel's mistake alone. It had been engineered, piece by piece, by the woman now sleeping in his mansion, calling herself his future wife. Imani did not sleep that night. By morning, she had made a decision. She was not doing this for Daniel Kang. She was doing this for the year of her life that Serena Kang had stolen from her. She called Robert Chen. "I need to see Daniel. Alone." Before the shareholder vote, Robert arranged it quietly, away from Serena's watchful assistance. For the first time since the accident, Serena's control over Daniel's world had a crack in it, and she did not even know it yet. When Imani sat across from Daniel in his private study, she placed the envelope on the table between them like a closed door finally opening. "Before you decide anything about me," she said, "read this first." Daniel read every page in silence. When he finished, his hands were not steady. "I don't remember firing you," he said, "but I remember what it felt like to lose you. I have felt it every single day since I woke up, like a wound with no name." He looked up at her, eyes wet. "I was afraid to ask why your face lives in the only part of my memory that survived. Now I think I understand. I loved you before I destroyed you, and some part of me never stopped." But Serena was not a woman who lost quietly. When she learned that Robert had betrayed her, she moved the emergency shareholder vote up by 2 full days. If she married Daniel and secured his signature before the truth spread, no evidence in the world could take the company from her hands. She sent a message to Imani that night. Short, cold. "Walk away now, or I will make sure you lose everything you rebuilt this year, this time for good." Imani stared at the screen for a long moment. A year ago, a message like that would have broken her. Tonight, it only made her steadier. She read it twice, deleted it, and called Daniel. "She's not going to lose gracefully," Imani warned him. "Whatever she's planning, it's coming fast. We don't have much time left. This is where everything comes apart, so make sure you're subscribed before the next scene. Comment the word truth below if you think Serena's plan is about to fail." At the emergency shareholder meeting, Robert Chen stepped forward with a folder of his own, one Serena never expected to surface. Financial records proved Serena had been moving company funds into a private account for 3 years. And one line buried in a maintenance report revealed something no one in that room was prepared to hear. The brakes in Daniel's car had been serviced 2 days before his accident by a mechanic who worked exclusively for Serena's family estate. The crash that erased Daniel's memory of his empire had never been random. Serena had not just built a lie to remove Imani. She had nearly destroyed her own cousin to protect it. The room went silent. Then it erupted. Board members rose from their chairs, whispering, some already reaching for their phones. Security moved toward Serena before she could reach the door. "Daniel, I did it for us," she said, her voice breaking for the first time in the story. Daniel looked at her the way a man looks at a stranger he never truly knew. "There was never an us, Serena. Only a company you wanted more than you ever wanted me." Officers led her out of the building as reporters filled the lobby, cameras flashing against marble floors that had once carried Imani's silent walk of shame. By evening, every major network was airing the fall of Kang Global's Golden Bride. And standing quietly at the back of the room, Imani Jackson finally exhaled a breath she had been holding for 1 entire year. "We're almost at the ending you've been waiting for, so stay with me. Subscribe now if this story has earned it, and tell me in the comments which city you're watching from tonight." 3 months later, Daniel Kang stood in front of the same 300 employees who once watched Imani walk out of that lobby in silence. The lobby looked different now. Bright, open, filled with quiet conversation instead of fear. This time he asked her to walk back in, not as someone he had fired, but as the new president of Kang Global, the woman who had built the company's foundation years before he ever knew her worth. He slid the silver watch off his own wrist and placed it gently into her palm. "I don't need this to remember anymore," he said. "I remember everything now. Every single reason I fell in love with you in the first place." Imani looked at the watch, then at him, and for the first time in over a year, she let herself smile without guarding her heart. The room around them, once filled with the sound of her humiliation, now held nothing but quiet applause. "Then let's build something neither of us has to forget. Love does not survive because it is convenient. It survives because someone chooses to fight for the truth, even when memory fails and the whole world turns away." If this story moved you tonight, make sure you are subscribed to Empire City Romance Stories, because a new emotional drama drops every single week. Like this video, leave a comment telling me what you would have done in Imani's place, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.